All right, so since I'm going to be putting in a big bore kit soon, big bore kit has a little more power, so the clutch will slip more. So I have some clutch springs. So since these things are, comes in 6, you could put in 3 clutch springs and have, I guess it says 30%. I'm guessing it's 30%. I'm not sure if it's 30% stronger bite or 30% more force on your lever, but it's probably means stronger bite. And if you use all 6, it's 60% stronger. So I'm gonna be using all 6 because again, it's a big bore kit. It's a 181 cc's, so it's gonna be more power. Definitely want more spring clamping. My target goal for this engine is to have 12 horsepower, and I think I'm gonna have 12 horsepower when I'm done, because I'm not doing nothing but the only thing I'm doing is the big bore kit, low compression, 10.5 compression ratio. That way I use regular gas. No cam, no, I'm not changing the intake. I do have the aftermarket exhaust, my the pea shooter, but this exhaust is not, it's not a race exhaust, so it doesn't flow that high, so it's not that much different than the factory exhaust. It flows a little bit more than the factory, but not much though. So I think my horsepower is going to be about, I'm hoping about 12. Well, that's my target goal anyways. So I'm going to need stronger springs, so I'm going to change these. So take these out right here, these 3 bolts. I shouldn't have to take out anything else. So when you do this, you have to be very careful. Well, it depends on if you want to keep this carrier, this spring carrier or not, because it's only bolted on 3, and these 3 are not they don't have bolts on them. It's just being held up by its own strength against the spring. So you can't actually use this carrier because it's not strong enough. It'll break, it'll crack. So I'm also changing to a stronger clutch spring carrier as well. This one is a Koso, and I've actually had this one for quite a long time, and I haven't finally putting time into putting this together. So you don't have to take anything else except for these 3. And when you do take them out, if you don't want to break this carrier here, you gotta basically loosen it up a little bit at a time. So I would go like maybe quarter turn or half a turn at the most. I'm gonna see if I could get away with using my impact wrench. And the cool thing about this impact wrench, this is one of the newer style impact wrench where, let's actually look at it right here. It's kind of in the sun. It's kind of hard to see. So this impact wrench right here has this little feature that when the nut loosens, see how it's laid up right there? So when the nut loosens, as soon as the nut loosens, the wrench will actually stop and it won't let it spin any further. So hopefully that will be enough where it loosens and it stops, and I could go to the next one, and so on and so forth. Let's see how well that works. If I do break this carrier, who cares? I have another one, right? I have that one that I'm gonna put on, so I don't really care. But if I were to reuse this for some reason, then I'm kind of shit out of luck. Oh, I can't fit my wrench in right there. It doesn't fit. Stupid flywheel is in the way. Let's see if I have a extension for that. I do actually. I don't have the proper extension. I'm just using a regular extension with a little wobble head, so that's not the proper extension for impact. But I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. Let's see if this works. Make sure I'm in the right direction first. Okay, it's in the right direction, and this is a 10mm. Oh, this thing doesn't feel like it's going in. What the hell? Why is this thing all banged up? Jeez. Looks like someone hit the top of this with a hammer. A framing hammer at that. Was that me? It might have been me. I don't remember doing that though. But it's possible that it might have been me hitting it with a framing hammer, but shit, I don't remember that. And this thing is not sitting in square. It's kind of cockeyed because of the lip right here, and this thing is thicker. It's the impact bit, so it's thicker. It's hitting that lip. Man, that's not good. I don't think that's gonna work. Let's see, let me just try it anyways. So I'm pushing on the back of the impact wrench to so the way it doesn't come out. Shit, that was not good. It spun out way too much. Okay, so I better not try that because I don't want to break this piece anyways. Let me spin this back in until it touches, so it has some support instead of just no support at all. All right, so I'm gonna go get the right wrench because I don't want to break anything. Let's see, that's a 10 millimeter. Okay, so I'll be right back. All right, so I got the right wrench here. I don't think I could do this without the clutch spinning. Let's see if it spins. Yeah, it's spinning. So I have another tool. What's my little tool? So I have this tool right here. So you see this tool? I got this from WeBike. So you stick this into the gears, depending on which direction you're spinning it. So let's say if I was spinning this clutch clockwise, I would put it up from the top, and the gears right here will mesh these two gears to the clutch gear right here, the driven gear and the drive gear, and it basically locks them in place so they don't move. So that's if I spun this thing clockwise. If I spin this thing counterclockwise, I actually have to go from underneath and put it from underneath. Put it from underneath down in here to lock those two gears in place. But anyways, let me do that. Let me put this on the bottom because this thing is going counterclockwise. And when they don't fit in completely, you actually have to kind of spin the gears a little bit so that way they fit each other, so they mesh. Okay, so that's meshing, so that's good. You might have to hold it there for a brief moment because it might just drop on you. So I already loosened this one up already, right? So let me loosen this one over here. So that's loosened. Back to this. That's loosened. Okay, so they're all loose. Okay, now I can just probably leave it there. It's enough to hold itself up there, that little gear. So now I can just loosen these a little bit at a time. So there's resistance on the spring itself, on the clutch spring itself. I can feel that resistance, so I can really spin it with my hand because everything's all really. It's just too much resistance on my or too much slippage where I'm trying to grab the tool. I'm only spinning this thing about maybe 90 degrees each time. So you want to keep the pressure uniform, even between all of them, so that way they don't. So none of these spades will crack. If you don't, it'll crack. If you watch a bunch of YouTube videos on guys doing this, they're not doing it properly, and it freaking all cracks on them. And they're like, oh shit! I gotta order a new one, and it takes I don't know how many weeks to get a new part. I think I'm almost all the way out. So it's kind of, because you have to do this one at a time, a little bit at a time, so it takes longer, but that's what you got to do to not have that piece cracked on you. It's moving out quite a bit. It's quite a bit of pressure or tension on these springs, so they squeeze in quite a bit. So I'm at a position where the spades here are not underneath the flywheel. So if your spade is underneath the flywheel, you should spin the clutch around until it's not there anymore. Okay, I think there's no more spring tension. Let me just spin it now. One, two, three. Okay, we're all out of the threads. So let's do this. Well, actually, let me just take out this like so. Set the 3 bolts. To the side. And there's your little spring carrier. So you need to obviously we use this this bearing here. So you just push it out from the back side, right? And it pops right out. Right, so that's easy, right? So there's your original piece right here. So again, this piece is known to crack on you if you tighten and loosen the springs incorrectly. Set that aside. Let's look at the new piece. This Koso spring, excuse me, not the Koso spring, the Kitako springs. Again, these springs are a little bit firmer than the original. You know, if I use all 6, it's 60% firmer. If I use 3, it's only 30% firmer. So I'm gonna use all 6 because, you know, I'm gonna put in that big bore kit, so I need that all 6 because the big bore kit, I believe, is gonna be, because this engine is about 8 horsepower, right? 8 something, maybe under 9 or no more than 9 horsepower, I don't think. So if I go from say 8 or 9 horsepower to 12, that's about a 50% increase in power. So if I use all 6 springs, 60% more spring clamping force. That sounds about right. Okay, so actually let's look at this new spring versus the old spring. I don't have my calipers with me, so I can measure the springs. But I can actually look at it and I can see physically the new springs are actually thicker, just a little bit thicker than the old one. Let me squeeze it and see. Oh yeah, that's pretty hard. Let's see this one. Oh yeah, it's easy to squeeze. See that? So I'm squeezing it. How much I'm able to squeeze it. That's softer, and this one's the newer one. Ugh, it's harder for me to squeeze. But again, you know, these ones have, you know, like almost 2,000. I think I have just under 2,000 miles on this bike right now. So it has 2,000 miles of wear, and it's been sitting there for like, you know, over a year now. And let's say I bought this bike in I think in May of 19. So it's been a year and a half about since I've had it, over a year and a half. It was probably made, you know, maybe 6 months before that. So basically these springs has been in here for like 2 years already, being squeezed the whole time. So it's gonna be a little softer from that, because, you know, because these springs are pretty much broken in, whereas these ones are brand new and they're not broken in yet, so they're not as so they will soften up. These new springs will soften up once they break in. All right, so let's put these old ones aside, pull all these old ones off. These old ones aside. Let me get the Koso spring carrier out. So it's the Koso spring carrier. It's just more beefy. That's the old one. So it's just more. You actually feel more weight too. This one's, the original one's pretty light. So this one's just more beefy. It's more reinforced. It's just stronger. You know, this one is cast, and this original one is cast. The new one is billet, CNC'd. I don't know what type of metal, or it's aluminum, but I'm not sure what type of aluminum. I don't know if it's 6061 or 7075. Ideally, I'd rather have it at 7075 because it's stronger. But 6061 is fine too, as long as it's heat treated properly. You know, T6 heat treatment. Okay, let's put the new springs on. So it doesn't matter which way, they're all the same. Same. There's the Coso cover. So you have to know which one, because there's only 3 bolts, so you have to make sure you have line up the bolt holes to the one where there's actually threads. So this one here, these 3 are the one with the threads. The other 3 don't have threads on them. So it's like that. Basically like that. Let me just get a bolt in here so that way I can just kind of hold it in place. This might be kind of hard because I have to actually probably have to squeeze the I have to actually squeeze the springs in a little bit. So when you, let me actually show you this other thing right here. So when you're in here, like so, you see how it's machined, like that. The spring would sit like that. So right, it's just like that. See that? So it's not actually, it's not like this or whatever like that. It's actually like so. It's actually like so. Okay. It'd be much easier if I had laid the bike on the side and laid the bike on the side and the way everything's nice and flat. Where's my wrench? Where's my little tool? Let's see if I can actually reach in here. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't feel the threads at all. Okay, let's see. Damn, camera's right in my way where my arm needs to be. To get some leverage. So I get some proper leverage and some proper torque. It's not in the proper position. Let's see. Oh, this bolt is way far away. There it is. There it goes. Nope. Man, that's hard. Let's see. That's very, very hard. Man, freaking camera's in my way. Let me move the camera. Okay, that's better. Try to push this bolt into where the thread needs to be. Damn it. Oh, damn it. So maybe I'm thinking I'm going to stop the camera because you don't really see me struggling with this. Once I finish struggling with this, I could turn the camera back on. Yeah, so I'll do that so that way you don't have to waste time. It's, you know, it's basically me trying to struggle putting this thing in. All right, I was able to get it in. So basically what I did was, because before you saw me just using this only like that, I wasn't able to get a good hold on this. So I put on the socket wrench, and I just basically like that, and I just kind of push it in, make sure that it was lined up, and I just kind of push it in while I was just spinning this, and the thread caught on. So now I need to tighten everything up. Yeah, just need to tighten everything up. So, oh, you know what? Fuck, my spring down here is not straight. God damn it! You see it right now. My bottom spring here is not. It's not square. It's actually cockeyed over. You guys can't see because it's in the dark. God damn it! I wonder if I could push it like a wrench. Nope. I think I need to get like a flathead screwdriver to push that. Probably have to probably have to loosen it up just because right now there's too much pressure right there. Too much pressure on it. Now, I'm not gonna take it out all the way, obviously. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it out enough where it lightens up that pressure a little bit. Then I could push the spring in a little bit easier. Yeah, the springs. I think what it is that groove on the bottom. So you see how there's the there's this right here and that's that right here. So I think the spring is actually, it's like this inside it. It's actually looking like it looks like it's like that. So that, you know, that's, so see that bottom groove right here, that's towards the center, so it's like that instead of being up like this. It's actually like that. So okay, so let me go grab a real flathead so I could actually stick it in here and hopefully try to push it in, and I don't have to take this apart. That was a real pain in the butt putting it in. All right, let me go grab a screwdriver. All right, let's got a little flathead right here. See if I can push it in from here. Oh, I thought something. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now it's in place. So that's all I did. Let's see, everything else looks okay. Yeah, everything else looks okay. Now we can tighten this thing back up again. Taking a little bit of time, maybe about 90 degrees or so. Just go 90 degrees. Oops, keep on going 90 degrees. Took a little bit of time, but that's just how it is. So you prevent anything from getting that spring carrier from getting damaged. And the spring carrier is a lot stronger than the stock one, so it might not crack, but it, you know, but who knows? It's better to be safe than sorry. As it's compressing the spring, I can feel the resistance more and more each time. It's getting firmer and firmer each time. That's normal. Seems normal to me. Okay, looks like this one right here is a little bit further out than the other ones. Okay, I'm almost there at the bottom. You go until the bolt bottoms out. All right, then you can torque it down. I don't know what the torque number is. I don't remember. So this is a 10mm head. The bolt itself is actually not that big, so it doesn't need that much. It's probably only like, I'm guessing it's probably only like maybe 10 foot-pounds. So probably even less. It's probably only like 8 foot-pounds. So it shouldn't be that much pressure on this. Oh, there you go. That one bottomed out. That one bottomed out. That one bottomed out. Perfect. Look at that. It's completely even. All right. So I have my little wedge tool here. Now we basically torque this down. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time here. A little bit of time there. That's good. All right, get my little wedge tool out. Shoot. Wedge tool, right? Got this on WeBike. That makes a big difference. You use other stuff too, but this just makes it easier. A lot of different things you stick wedge in there. I think that's the easiest one. All right, that. So now I get my bearing back in. So here's the bearing. So this one is made in Taiwan. Oh, I'm surprised. It's made in Taiwan. I would rather have a Japanese one. NTN 6200. I think that's a 62 or is it 82? XN. So everything here feels clean. Let's see my bearing here. It's all clean. Other surface is all clean. No particles. If I put this in squarely, it should just slide right in. But no, it's not square. It's kind of cockeyed. There it goes. It slides in. And that's it. I'm done. All I need to do is put my cover back on. I'm done. All right. So that's how you change the spring and the spring carrier. And that's it. I'm not gonna do nothing else. I wonder if I should open this up and check the filter in here. Nah, I should be fine. Because I did that during the break-in, I think. Actually, you know, the last time I did that was when I put the factory clutch back on. Because before I had a slipper clutch. So that was not that long ago. That was like, I only had the slipper clutch on there for about 1,000 miles. And this bike has less than 2,000 miles on it. So it wasn't that long ago. So last time I opened that up, I had to open this up and I cleaned it out. So that was only, you know, no more than 1,000 miles ago. So it should be fine. That's it. Thanks for watching.